Shalom. Praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Bashem Rakakadesh. Double on the Apostle, now this great millstone roll well. And Shalom to the brothers doing the work necessary in truth. Just wanted to cover what the situation you got going down in DC, which has kind of just been, the main kind of focal point and hot topic of everything that's been going down. Just like in the news in the States, essentially, it's been the focus, and like everything's kind of taking it's what's the term I'm looking for? Taking us everything's kind of actions were bit all the actions that kind of government's taking in response to like this event. So you got Trump getting impeached again, which I don't even understand the significance. Like that just seems a bit of I don't even know what what the purpose of that could be, considering he's meant to leave office in like a week, something like that, and you've had security on top, which is something I went into before, and that's why you got this on the Washington Post. It says about 20,000 National Guardsmen could arrive in Washington. Officials say in swelling inauguration security effort. Because like the main thing they mentioned after the Capitol Hill getting stormed, the Capitol building getting stormed, is the security, which are going over, where it just seems like that shit was from it looked like that shit was allowed to happen. Was really the kind of angle where there was like man was super lax, and then they didn't even call back up all kinds of shit. Man were posing for pictures, all that shit. It's just like, hold on, I didn't even like. But yeah, now that's allowed them to push out that the wave of getting everyone thinking about domestic terrorism, which is the new hot buzzword, which everyone's it's entered everyone's vocabulary. So it says what an additional 5,000 members of the National Guard could arrive to support the inauguration day security in Washington, city officials said Wednesday, which would increase the total to at least 20,000 in a rapidly swelling security apparatus focused on the Capitol. And that's going to become something that you'll see normalized, because it'll probably just be a thing where they might, because essentially it said like even with when the thing happened, they just let everyone walk out, and then you've had people getting arrests, you have people being obviously those cameras up in there, so people that are in there getting identified, getting exposed. But it's kind of a thing where they will let loose in kind of lead up to the inauguration. So it's just like I don't even know what the it don't make no sense. Surely he's gonna grab them all up and not let them run free. But man was stealing papers, all kinds of secrets, governmental secrets were just nabbed up. Well, mentally, I'm like, it's wild. But yeah, so now they've got the amped up security effort, including National Guard, military expertise. So then that might just become a normal something that's normalized. You might just have National Guard roaming the streets, which this is all leads into what that New World Order plan of the elites, man. Getting that New World Order in. So it's okay. Aircraft focused, and yeah, says I think you can expect to see somewhere upwards beyond 20,000 members of the National Guard that will be here in the footprint of the District of Columbia. Acting DC Police Chief Robert J. Conti III, the fuck kind of name is that, said at a news conference. A defense official speaking on the condition of anonymity to comment on internal discussions, said that Pentagon officials were still working through plans for providing additional security support to the inauguration. The officials said that the discussions with the city and federal officials over the final number of National Guardsmen to be sent into Washington was still at a national stage. No, a notional stage? Yeah, as official plans for what is needed and take part in tabletop exercises led by the Secret Service. For now, officials say 10,000 will be in place by the weekend. National Guard forces in and around the capital will be armed, while others are expected to be unarmed. Okay. It's interesting. It says Defense Department officials are scrambling to establish an adequate plan for providing National Guard aid for the inauguration and avoid a repeat of last week's attempted insurrection of the U.S. Capitol. National Guardsmen initially deployed to the Capitol from outside Washington were drawn from special units designed for emergency mobilization on short notice, defense officials said. Guardsmen sent from Virginia and Maryland included members of the National Guard Reaction Force, a unit of troops in every state focused on riot control and defending critical infrastructure. So yeah, they've got the framework there. So depending on what goes down, because it seems like the anticipation is it's gonna be big, and then considering it's been 2020, the theme of 2020 was just riots throughout all that, and that's continued through, man. So yeah, it looks like more madness is gonna go down. And you can just see what's gonna the further militarization, and they'll say like need for security. That seems to be what the theme is gonna be. So yeah, says defending great. Okay, dozens of troops in those units can mobilize within 8 hours of notice, with hundreds more following 18 hours later. The Guard has said. These guardsmen are still in Washington, state officials said, raising questions about whether premier riot response troops will be tied up in the district if planned protests at the state capitals spiral into violence. Defense officials have already expressed concern about balancing the response in Washington with needs in individual states. Yeah, and that as well, because if you have stuff happening, on a national scale, where it's in a bunch of different places, hey, it's gonna get wild. So that's and it's kind of whether it does actually go to that level or not. Yeah, we'll have to see whether it goes to that level or not. And if it does or doesn't, it's still a thing where if it does or doesn't, it's the vibrations have been pushed out just from that event at the U.S. Capitol. So it's set pace, man, for the year. What to expect. Same thing with like 2020, man, where it kicked off with World War III seeming on the cusp, and that's something that's still waiting in the wings. You've still got the situation with Iran. You still got the situation with Israel. You got a couple things going down where it's just like it's so much happening. You can't keep track. There's Brexit. There's Trump going out of office. Joe Biden coming in. All these different things. Maxine getting pushed out. All these things are happening, man. It's a madness. Second Ezra 15, 15 says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." Man, so that civil war that we got, seen in real time. These things are in prophecy, man. These things are a fulfillment of prophecy, and the prophecy leading to what the return of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man, son of their heavenly Father. The only begotten Son. He's looking to send him to come back and take what's his, man. Take his kingdom, get his rulership back, get his throne back, and put the heathen into subjection, man, and judge. The 2/3. and then the elect will get raised up, man. These are the things that this, you know, we're on the cusp of. It says what? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, the men shall be afraid. Yeah, so that destruction, that judgment, and what? All these all these coming restrictions that basically martial law troops just denying access. These are things that already exist. It's like now, it's like if you're caught traveling between, even in the UK, you're caught traveling between different areas because of the lockdown protocols. You're gonna get you're gonna get fined. These things are just being implemented, and it's just being absorbed and normalized, man. People are realizing that new normal, man. And you're gonna have people rebelling against it, but you're also gonna have people that just eat it. Because that's what Esau's do, just wearing people down, getting them ready to eat it. And that's the point. And and them guys that are resisting, they're gonna get broken down. And Esau's gonna push his thing through, man. That's why it's gonna be like, it's gonna be for the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's how brothers are gonna survive, man. But shalom. Stay up, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kal Kadosh B'Katah. Shalom.